So here comes the game part. So you have, as you may see, collect keys level 1. This is the all of the information, like it will show. If I collected all the keys, then I will show you what pop-up will it get. Okay, so game over, press R to restart level. Okay, so pressing R and making it win easily because it is easy. So as you may say, I need to do one step, whereas the both of the enemies just move continuously. So this is the level 2. So this is the level 3. Okay, to restart. So as you may say, this level can't even be passed because the exit button is far behind. Okay, so we have one chance only to defeat, and it shows with the prompt that this game is made by Santusht, you can't win. Okay, so I know this is a bit of sarcastic tone. So this was whole of my code and whole of my task. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Bye. So hi everyone, I am Santusht Monga. So this is my HD task based on the Maze game runner. So in this game we just got the assignment of a player, that you are assigned as a player and you just need to escape from the enemies and need to collect keys to escape a particular level. Okay, so now here goes the code of the whole game, and I will also show you the code of how to make it run and all this. So first, coming to the code part, so explaining it only in a short form that video doesn't get too long. So the first part here is include these all commands, include splash kit, vectors, q, cmath and strings. As everyone knows that splash kit is used for is a library, okay, which is used to just input write line and all struct and all this information. And the vectors is used for dynamic memory allocation or dynamic arrays, which you may say it like it is used to expand or shrink a particular thing. Okay, so here is used queue, like it will follow a particular pattern, like as everyone knows, 1 comes after 0, okay, and before 2. So it is a particular like we may say it like it is a particular sequence. So q is used to follow that particular sequence. And then we use cmath. Cmath is just used to like assign some particular commands in your code, like sine, cos, square root and all this. Okay, so I will show you the use of cmath further. So, and the last was the include strings. Everyone knows what this string is. I don't think it's needs to explain it more. Okay, so next part here comes about using std vectors, std pair and std string. So here std vector, std pair, std strings are an easy way. These are an easy way to like just using these are used instead of using numspace. Okay, so we don't need to use again and again numspace and then we need to write to underscore string. We don't need all this. If we are using these functions like using std, it's not a function, like if we are using std vector, std pair, std string, then we just need to do it simply. Okay, we don't need to use to underscore convert and all these things. So now further comes the window dimensions and all these, like constant integer window, the width and height. Constant is wait, if you will use just int window w and int window h, and what is difference between using constant int window w and constant int window h? The only and only difference is if you are using int window w, you don't need to assign a particular value to it, like here we did it to be 800 and 600. Okay, but if we are using constant, then we are already assigning it a constant value which can't vary, means which can't be changed, which is to be 800 and 600. So next I used constant int cells and all this is used to assign, like look, this is whole of the window. If we cut it into rows and columns, okay, like 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, 4 row, 5 row, 6 row, and make it further. Okay, so here I changed it to 12 rows, means the it will be visualized in the game also, like it contains 12 rows and 16 columns. Okay, so here will be the starting point of the player, which will be 1 comma 1, as one stands for the rows and another one stands for the column. So constant integer cell size refers to the cell size of the each cell, means first row and first column. What is the size of that first row and first column? So this is referred to as cell underscore size. So this is the rows, this is the column, and this is the total levels. Constant means I just made 3 levels, the first one to be easy, another one to be medium, and the last one to be difficult. Then I used constant color wall border as everyone know RGB stands for red, green, blue frames. Okay, so we have two commands like RGB and RGBA, which will be coming in the code further. So the difference is RGBA stands for opacity. Okay, it makes the like visualizing opaque, like a bit of transparent thing. So these all are the colors and dimensions of what I have used. Wall color, wall border, floor color, shadow color. It will be visualized in the when I will play the game. Okay, I will explain it if possible. Okay, so integer, current level, and all these bool functions like true and false, these all are there. So explaining it further comes the like struct. Okay, struct enemy, this is the structure I used. Okay, it like struct enemy defines matlab means what an enemy is. Okay, double r comma c, like unlike the player, enemies store their positions as means floating numbers. Okay, so that's why I used double. If I used int instead of double, then it will be stored in integer. So means this allows enemy to move fluently. Okay, so as I will run the code, you will see that when I am using means when I am making the player move. Okay, so it will move in parts, like as in motors and all, you can see that it will move one step, then one step, then one step, but the movement of enemies will be very smooth, like they will move in continuous manner. So this is the use of this double r comma c. This is used to make them move continuous, and this is the that I contain the structure and all this. Okay, so here I made the function of int active underscore maze and rows and columns. So now comes the main part about the maze and all this. So these are my 3 mazes, like level 1, level 2, level 3. I know it's not understandable, so let me explain it what it is. So if you go to Google and search for a particular maze, okay, and you take a copy image of that maze and ask Google to convert it into binary code, then you will get a sequence of codes like 1 0. Okay, so this is level 1. Okay, so it's in the you may say it like binary codes, which is understandable by computer. Okay, but not understandable by us because we use high level programming and computer uses low level programming, which includes binary codes. It is in the form of 0 and 1 only. You will not be able to see any other values other than 1 and 0. So you may see it like as described earlier. It contains 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 rows. Okay, so now coming to front, here you may see constant integer rows is equal to 12, constant integer columns is equal to 16. You may find out the counting of these also. It will automatically come to 16. Okay, so this was level 1, level 2, level 3. Then I used bool vocable, like is it possible to walk or not. Like if there is wall in front of the player, then he must not cross that na, that he must divert his path, player must divert his path. So here is the bool vocable function, that is it true that he can cross that there isn't any wall, or is it false that whether there is a wall or not. Okay, so this is the use of bool function here. and then I used void function load level, that level 1, level 2, level 3, and all these rows and columns. Okay, here is the assigning of all the enemies, like uh, in level 2 and level 3 the enemies will not be on the same place as they were in the level 1. The number of enemies will increase, the toughness will be increased, as the speed of enemies will also be increased, and allocation of enemies will change. Okay, so that's why I use these functions, that if level 1 is crossed, then change the positions of the enemies to make it more difficult, or you may say it make it more impressive or visualizing easily. So this was my easy like code for easy level, like 0.03, 0.02, 0.04. Here I use speed to be 0.02 because the number of enemies were increased, so it was a bit difficult to cross this level, so I made it a bit easy, not proper easy, a bit easier and bit more complex. So I used vector as I described earlier also for dynamic allocation, memory allocation, and I returned. I used void function update enemies, like you may see it position of the enemies, that how enemies will move and all these ecomar plus 0.5, that this was already described by me. So here I filled rectangle, draw text, okay, and all these functions, like fill rectangle, like I used the borders of the walls and the means, we may say that all closed windows and all these, so that's why I use this all. And I endpoints also I made that there wasn't any position more, okay, so that was the end. So I used fill circles and all this information, okay. So not explaining it more, here comes the main int main. It wasn't any long process. I used all the that information in void function, more functions instead of void main. Here shadow maze. Now let's come to the interesting part, that's the gaming part. Okay, so opening terminal using skm clang plus plus, name of the file program.cpp space minus l space splash kit space minus o space o. It ran. There was a warning, not an error, so not a problem. Dot slash